Hey everyone, welcome to my first ever video for Elite Dangerous, and today I'm going to talk about colonization. Why do I want to begin the first ever video that I ever make with colonization? Because it is a mystery. It's truly a mystery of how to do things in colonization. There is no manual, there's no instruction, and there's no directive from the Pilot Federation telling us here's how it's done. And so far, there are more bugs than we actually have ever seen in this game ever right now at current time. So there's a lot of crazy things happening. Colonization. I have already pretty much filled up my fleet carrier. This is my main, I would say, hauler. My fleet carrier has become my hauler. So I have filled up majority of the things that I need. I need a few more metals, steel and titanium to fill up and have a small commercial outpost built. It's about 22,000 something, 22,800 somewhat. Um, I do have an Excel spreadsheet that I keep track of these things. 22,000 tons of cargo that needs to build a commercial that you need to build a commercial outpost. So I'm I'm filling up this fleet carrier with that, and I'm going to take it to the location where I need to build. Why am I doing it this way? Well, as you get farther out, you're going to have less hubs that you can go to where you can get materials. So a fleet carrier is absolutely necessary. The second necessary thing I think you need for this is the cutter. Now, I have 6 accounts. I didn't want to grind out Imperial rank on the 5. I have a main one that has 2 cutters, and I use this trick that I'm doing right now to actually run material to my fleet carrier. This little trick I named the escape pod method. Um, I don't know if someone else named it something different, but you have 2 ships, one of which is at the outpost on the surface, and the other one is at the fleet carrier, which you just brought from the outpost. So the first thing you want to do is bring your ship to the city. It's a circular city. It's a T3 city, surface surface outpost, and that you want to call the ship, the second ship, to the shipyard while you load up the first one that you went with. Now I'm gonna make this one the main. The one was already there. The one that's on my ship I'm gonna call. The one I just landed with. That I was on the deck. Okay? So that one's gonna come, and I'm gonna take the one that's already here in the shipyard. I'm gonna take it back to the ship. So you need 2, and the best ship to fly right now is the cutter. I like um, Super Cruise Assist. I like all that, so I'm gonna have maximum 784 cargo. Now my ship is gonna be there, and the other one is returning back to the shipyard at this T3 city. The circular looks like a big UFO. Now, why am I doing this? It cuts out flying back and forth to the ship, at least one trip. So instead of making 2 trips to the ship, I make one trip. On a cutter, it takes me an average about 4 to 5 minutes. In 1 hour, I can do 10,000 tons. And A few weeks, the last week and the week before that, I've helped out Atlas, and I loaded up approximately about 80,000 tons in about maybe 9 hours. But I was able to help him out with his T3, and I was able to get him to claim his system because I already had the fleet carriers ready. What you want to do is use one outpost or one type of construction for one fleet carrier. That's the first trick that I have. Is if you're going to build a small outpost, and I'm only building commercial and civilian, I'm not building anything else from now on. If I want to build a commercial outpost, I'm going to have everything I need on one fleet carrier. Okay? If I'm building ground settlements, which take about 6,000 tons of material, I might have four settlements at a time in one fleet carrier, but going into one system, one planet. So I don't want to spread myself out and having to fly this massive uh, this massive cargo ship to multiple planets. So I just want to go to one place and bring the materials down to one place from the fleet carrier. Okay? So now I'm bringing the materials I just purchased from the T3 on the surface. I'm bringing them up to my fleet carrier. And if you notice, my fleet carrier is right there, right in orbit. How did I do that? It's basically you just plot the fleet carrier to orbit the planet, and you roll the dice of where the actual fleet carrier is going to land. Now I do have a trick with the colonization ships. When you're plotting the fleet carrier, you want to plot the colonization ship. So you want to use that as the jump point. It will land right next to the colonization ship within a few million kilometers, so that it takes no time for you to bring the materials to the colonization ship. So plot the colonization ship, not the planet, because you'll end up on the other side of the planet if you do that. So right now I'm bringing materials, and I'm going to rinse and repeat. I'm going to do it again, right? So I want to build a commercial, and on the settlement, hopefully I have at least 2 spots that I can build on the planet. You don't need to have a high metal world to be able to build a refinery. You can build a refinery on any type of planet, I've noticed. At first, we thought that it's only high metal worlds, but it's not that case. You can build on any planet. And there are Making has a video on it, but he said he made a mistake. He apologized for it, but it seems that one settlement is 50% of the economy. So if you actually want to build refineries, you need to build 2 refineries to make that the dominant industry on the planet, right? And you don't want to have more than 2 industries on that planet for the outpost in orbit to give you materials that you need. Now I'm building small commercial outposts so I can move on to the next one, but if I build a Coriolis, which I have already, the ground settlements will have refineries, so I can make the Coriolis a refinery outpost, and I can go there and get what I need, other things that I need for construction. You're also going to need tech, you're going to need agriculture, and industrial. And this will cover all the things that you need to build a new settlement. And as you go farther out, you should be building these in the systems that you colonize. What are my gripes with colonization? Well, first of all, we're spending a lot of time building these settlements and outposts. A lot of time. and they don't seem to be ours, and they should be. If we're, it's the reward of it for all the time that we spend is very little. For instance, I'm getting maybe with all I have 12 settlements with 12 outposts, 12 systems. With all the things I built, I'm getting 300,000 credits. I can make 300,000 credits in 15 minutes by doing a settlement massacre. So, or I can make 300,000 in 2 minutes by doing pirates, going out to a resource extraction site and just kill pirates. So, the reward for for building these things is very low. I think there should be other things, like it should be personal. We should have storage on these settlements, on, let's say, the outposts. We have some kind of storage. So we can leave materials there, right? So, for instance, I want to build outposts. I don't leave it on my fleet carrier. I leave it on the settlement, and then I can come back to get it later on, right? Um, ingredients that I need for materials, like for my suits. Instead of storing it on my fleet carrier, I can store them on the outpost. So there should be more benefits than just a monetary benefit, which is minimal. It's just there's no, who cares? There is other things that can generate higher income in this game than colonization. So right now, colonization is new, so most people are doing it because it's a new thing. But eventually, the grind will get to people for sure, and then they'll stop playing colonization altogether. So right now, there's no benefit to doing. I don't see a benefit to doing colonization, except for the fact of having your name on the bottom of some screen that you were the actual architect. Who cares? Okay, there should be benefits, gameplay benefits, not just a recognition benefit. So when FDev decides to do that and fix that, this will definitely be something beneficial. They need a larger ship. 784 tons is not enough to haul all the things that we need, literally. And the gameplay is right now made for multiplayer. But here's the problem with multiplayer. Here's the problem with multiplayer and squadrons. It's egocentric. So basically, there's one person that benefits from everything, and everyone else is kind of like the ants, the drone ants, doing the work. So unless you're very good friends with someone and you work together, the only person benefiting is the squadron leader. And you can see that Mars Urich built a planet and built his settlement on a planet. He has, this is what I want. I want this, I want this, I want that. And everybody helped him to build those things. But did he help other people build anything else? I don't see him videotaping, like for instance, Barefoot. Did he help out Barefoot build his station or build anything that he's doing? So, colonization is egocentric. There's only one person that benefits from the build of a station. So, Meccan has his squadron, Furion has Battle Vortex, Mars has Laser Cops. So, you don't you don't see them doing anything for anyone else. They're only doing it for their base, their station, etc. So the first thing FDev needs to do is make it where the solo player is the foundation. So they have to make these new modules or new DLCs, whatever you want to call these new updates, centered around the solo player needs to be the center, and then multiplayer, etc., etc. So if I take a whole month to build a T3, that's just a total waste of time. And then I have no benefit from building the T3. I have nothing. I don't have any storage on the T3. I don't have any high clearance. I don't have any special price cuts. I don't have anything. So there has to be a benefit for building the T3. It has to be solo player orientated because you have people like me who don't who play by themselves because of the hours I play at, and no one's around. No one can help. The friends I do have, they're not on, and so who do you play with? Do I have to wait till Atlas comes on and say, "Hey, Atlas, help me out here. Give me some help on my station." But that's not gonna happen. So I have to do things on my own. And when you do things on your own, and you want to build a T3, you can't. Can you build a Coriolis? Yeah, you can definitely build an outpost. So you the colonization becomes a massive grind, a massive, massive grind. So FDev needs to focus on that. I think the first thing you should do is build an outpost. Get that out of the way. If you're a solo player like me, outpost. Don't even bother with Coriolis unless the planet where the little flag, the little colonization flag's at, has 5 spots on it. Then build a Coriolis. But otherwise, don't bother. Okay? And always do a commercial or civilian outpost. Because it seems that they absorb the economy of that planet. So I'll keep on going back and forth to the fleet carrier, delivering items to the fleet carrier. Now, where I'm going is about 500 light years out, so there's nothing around me to actually go back and forth with a ship to make deliveries to the colonization ship. So it has to be a fleet carrier. Okay? So I talked about NPCs. NPCs should help, even if it's a little bit, even 10-20% of what you need to collect. If they can help you with that, that'll make a big difference. This colonization should be centered around solo players and not multiplayers because most of us don't have people to play with, and we don't have a full squadron, or we don't have a mechan-sized squadron. I think he's got 40 players helping me out. I think they build like 6 T3s in his system. So we don't have all that. I don't have all that. So who am I going to get to help build my stuff? So then colonization becomes a part of gameplay that I cannot play. Okay? So it's just something to think about. Again, the carrier is carrying everything I need for commercial. I estimated that you can put at least 4 small settlements into a fleet carrier, 3 medium. Definitely a large you cannot. A large outpost, it takes more than an orbital T3, more than an Oculus. So you can fit 4 small, 3 medium, maybe 1 or 2 large settlements into your fleet carrier. And this way you put all the materials you need. I use an Excel spreadsheet. It tells me everything I need to collect. And I only go to 2 places. I go to the HIP 90578 system. And I go to this one that I'm using right now, the WISE 1800 plus 0134. Ground settlement. There are other ground settlements closer, but I got used to coming here, so I'm actually coming to this one.
Yo, Breaker 19, this here's the rubber duck. Pilots in the black, yeah, we lighting it up. 10 for my crew, we flying tight. Ain't no one stopping us tonight. Dark side of the moon in my Type 9 ride. Cargo sacked up, credits on my mind. Jumping through the void, no laws apply. Just me in the black, watch the engines cry. Pipe out in the rear, keep the fleet real tight. Wingman on my 6, scan the skies for a fight. Thought Gargoyles lurking, feds in the way, but we keep on hauling, we don't delay. Frame shifts hot, engines burning bright. Ain't no gravity holding me tonight. Fuel scoops low as we ride this storm, jumping till the galaxy is warm. We gotta avoid convoy, height is out of sight. Jumping system to system, yeah, we own the night. Ain't nobody gonna get in our way. We keep it moving, cross the Milky Way. Sing now, convoy, slow, convoy. Back in the bubble, dodging the heat. Pirates in the belt wanna test our fleet. Laser beams flash, shields go red, but we push that boost, leave them all for dead. Cargo hold full, we flying in style. Dreaming of a panther, but we stuck here a while. Still me hustle, still we grind. Just pilots in the black, running credits blind. Frame shift hot, engines burning bright. Ain't no gravity holding me tonight. Fuel scoops grow as we ride the storm, jumping till the galaxy is born. We gotta avoid convoy, light is out of sight. Jumping system to system, yeah, we own the night. Ain't nobody gonna get in our way. We keep it moving, cross the Milky Way. Sing it now, convoy, slow, convoy. Yo, 10-4 Commander, the void is ours. No orders, no changes, the endless stars. Keep the cargo running, keep the thrusters tight. This is Rubber Duck, clear skies, good flight.
You might need a little bit more than is on any list because the requirement changes system to system. So I looked at Fandom, I think it was Fandom, Game Wiki, and there is a list there. There is one circulating on the forums, and it's totally inaccurate. You need more than that. Like, for instance, for a commercial outpost, the forum list says 18,000 tons. The Fandom one says 22,000. That's a massive difference. And we saw that Atlas and I were building his small outpost for where the T3 is now. We were building the outpost, and we noticed that problem that I had used the list that was on the forums, and we were short, so we had to go back and get more stuff. Luckily, it wasn't a big deal, but it wasn't a lot. And he had some materials available. But the reason I'm saying this is that I have 5 fleet carriers right now fully loaded for commercial. So one of them I'm going to use to supplement in case I'm short. So at least 4 systems will be built this afternoon. And I'll claim 4 systems. Now here's a thought that I had, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, and you can yell at me. Leave a comment leave a comment in forums, or you can leave a comment below. I think you should be able to claim the system that you want to colonize somehow. Like, for instance, you go and explore, you go out in the black, and you found a system, and you want to colonize it. It's within a certain range of a colonization person, right? So those people that you get the beacon from. So, like, you go out and you saw a system, but it's not there yet. There needs to be another 1 or 2 colonies built before it gets to yours. I think you should be able to claim it for 25 million, and the beacon should be 10 times that. It shouldn't be so cheap to colonize. Yes, newer players can also be colonizing just like everybody else, but it should be something that you work for. So I go out into the black, I do a bunch of exobiology, I got my 250 million, I go now. I can go and colonize. I got enough money to colonize, or I go kill Thargoids for a week and I make 1 billion. So now I can do 4 systems. So you should be able to claim with 25 million. That claim should be active for a certain amount of time. Let's say 1 month. And if you don't put a beacon in the system, then the claim is null and void, right? So the 25 million should be for a claim, and the beacon should be a permanent thing, right? So that the claim should be for a month, the beacon should be longer. Since I'm factoring the solo player, mind you, I think a lot of people are playing solo. They don't have squadrons, they don't have players to play with, and they don't feel like they need to help uh, a squadron that's egocentric. Like there's only one player that benefits from everything. Okay, so this is going to be the biggest problem that FDev has to deal with. You know, I really do think that everything that FDev should create should be solo first, and then add multiplayer, and squadron or whatever. Um, that's just my opinion. But first, you should be able to go out into the black. I saw a system. I press a button. I claim that system, right? Because what's happened is people see that system. They go out into the black. I want this system, and now somebody else comes and gets it. Well, that's fine and dandy, but it's like it kind of ruins the game. You know, like that's happened to me a few times. I claimed a few places and now they're gone. So you got to be fast. You got to be fast in order to claim a system with the beacon. But if you claim the system for 25 million, right? You can do it in while you're scanning the whole solar system and the planets and all that. Do you want to file a claim? Yes. 25 million. Yes. So I press 25 million, it goes off to into the black, and the Pilot Federation gets the money. Okay, and then the wave of colonization comes close to that system. Now I can go and put a beacon down. Okay, and I think it should be for 30 days. 30 days, and then the beacon another 30 days. So you have that system that you actually like and you wanted it. And um, this way, people get what they want in a sense. You can do about 5,000 tons in about 30 minutes. So I'm going to turn off the video and start it again when I'm pretty close to finishing. So I keep doing the loop, and it seems faster than going back and forth to the planet.
Stars shine bright, engines hum.
If you notice how many times I come back and forth, and there's always 5 or 6 ships landing on the fleet carrier, but they serve utterly no purpose at all except for show. Like right now, you see I'm landing over there in that spot, right? And there's another large ship landing also. Usually T9s are landing here. They really need a Panther, man. They lost a lot of money by not launching some kind of ship that you can haul in. So I got about 2 runs left in me. I didn't record while I was doing the other runs. So let me recap what I just said. Basically, I load up fleet carrier with cargo that I need for a small outpost. Right now, the only ones I'm building is commercial. Unless the planet that the little colonization flag is on has more than 5. So you want 5 or more spots on the planet that you can build on. Okay? 2 is fine, but that means you're only going to have one type of economy for that station. So if I do have a planet that has 5 or more, I will definitely build a Coriolis. Don't count on your friends. Tip number 2, don't count on your friends helping you out or anybody else helping you out. I have a fleet carrier and one of the Trailblazer ship sites, and I think I wanted to load up the fleet carrier. It's 1 billion credits that someone can make by loading up my fleet carrier. 1 billion. But I put it up last night. I put everything up for sale last night. This morning I woke up and it was empty. Nobody actually loaded up. Nobody even bothered. Credits are not important. So if the only benefit we have to colonization is credits, colonization is going to die just like everything else. So I think there should be more. Or having your name tag on a system when somebody opens up the galaxy map. So there should be more. You should do the Imperial ranking system. You should get the cutter. That's a must-have. I don't have money for the cutter, you say. Okay, then do exobiology. I will have a video on exobiology. It doesn't take much exobiology to make money. It is by far the easiest method to make money if you're a brand new player. And it doesn't require a heavy-duty ship. There are 2 ways to make money when you first get your ship, you get your Sidewinder. You can go into resource extraction site, a low one, and attempt to get some bounties, or you can go do exobiology. You will be given money, and with that you can buy an exobiology suit. And so you can do your scanning. You will need a surface scanner. I think that's 100,000. And the suit's 150,000, so there goes your 250,000 you're given when you first start. There's no need to grind materials anymore. Power play takes care of that issue. And now you're a new player and you've joined Elite Dangerous because you want to do colonization. There are 400 billion stars within this galaxy. You have plenty of time. Right now, my guild or my squadron is plotting out the neutron highway, and we haven't even reached the second neutron star yet. There are thousands of stars between the bubble and the second neutron star. So you have plenty of time to do colonization and form your own little bubble within the galaxy. What my thinking is when you first start out is you do exobiology, get yourself a hauler so you can haul. Right now in the Trailblazer sites, you can haul cargo for a lot of money. a lot of money, and you can raise the money you need for a fleet carrier. I think you can do that within a week by hauling for the fleet carriers that are there. They just put up, everybody that goes there just put up their markets on their fleet carriers. They put up the materials they need and for full price and the highest possible, and all you have to do is deliver the goods to the fleet carrier. So there are thousands of ways to make money in this game. That's why the colonization, the reward is skewed. It's just terrible. I'm getting 300,000 credits a week for my systems. Who cares? Seriously. That's one pirate in a resources in RES site. Who cares? So there's got to be more. Cargo storage. Um, you should have a security badge, level 3 access to all your little settlements. And it should be somewhat yours. It should be yours. Like the overseer. Yeah, it's run by the faction and the faction leaders, but you're like the consigliere. I'm almost done. I use a spreadsheet to actually find out what I need, and when I collect something, I just put in a number and it automatically updates itself. So I know this fleet carrier will be full very, very soon. I think one more run.
Stars shine bright, engines hum, cargo packed, the job ain't done. Jumping through the black so wide, prophets call, no place to hide. Hauling day and night, no one calling out to fight. Frontier making us so mad, give us a new ship hauler. The Panther we don't got, rusty tight nine bones and creaks. Dreams of Panther feel so sleek. Every ton's another load, still no Panther, same old road. Hauling day and night, no one calling out to fight. Frontier making us so mad, give us a new ship hauler. The Panther we don't got, stacking credits, grinding hard, space truck life, deck of cards. But when will they hear our call? We need more room, that's all. Hauling day and night, no one calling out to fight. Frontier making us so mad, give us a new ship hauler. The Panther we don't got, the Panther. The Panther.
So right now I'm finished. It's my last run. I didn't recall the ship because I don't need to. I'm finished. The ship's already here in the shipyard. I'm going to take that one back up to the fleet carrier. The other one I'm not going to recall because I don't need it anymore. And the last bit of titanium will go into the cargo hold. For some reason, I gave Atlas instruction. I thought that you get out in the front and you go into the back. Actually, it's just one location. That was dumb. But For some reason, it looks like you're coming out in the front. In the front, it's actually you're coming out in the back of the hauler. Okay, so I'm gonna add what I need, and I'll be done. And I'll have about 23,000 tons, 22,000 tons of cargo, right? 187 titanium, that fills up exactly what I need for the settlement. I do have other fleet carriers that have the same amount if I do need to complete because of different variations that exist out there. I don't know if I need less or more. If I do need to complete, I have them available, so this way I can finish up the outpost very quick. It'll take me about 2 hours to unload this fleet carrier. It took me about 3 or so, maybe about 3 hours to load it up. I want to say 3, I want to be honest. I did go make some sandwiches and took a slight 10-minute nap, but all in all, it should be about 4 to 6 hours that it takes you to build the commercial outpost, the small commercial outpost. Here is another thing that I'm doing, and I'm sorry that I'm doing it this way, but there's a lot of variations, a lot of things that people say about the settlement, the economy, the population, etc. So the reason I'm building this small outpost, because I really don't know how colonization works, all the ins and outs of colonization. I'm learning as we go along. Mekin had a nice video. Ricardo had a nice video. But no one really knows or has a clear, concise idea of how to build things. And if you build a T3 right next to the sun or a gas giant, you're basically done with. You're only going to have bio waste in that T3. So I'm building only outposts, and I'm going to go to the next one and the next system and the next system. And then I'm going to stop once I think I have enough outposts built out there, enough systems. And then once there is a consensus, this is how it works, then I will start building the ground settlements. I do have 3 systems that I built ground settlements, and I totally ruined those settlements, and just I wish I can start over, but you can't. You can't blow up those settlements and start over from scratch. So unfortunately, right? There's no mechanism to start over yet. Yeah, look at all the traffic you get. Look at that. I have two large coming in, 2 mediums, any small. Not really. But yet they do nothing. And my ship doesn't refuel and doesn't repair. I wanted to have a ship that I wanted to have the full cargo capacity to be able to ship what I need for my settlements. My computer is really working hard as I'm videotaping this video. Really hard, my goodness. Yeah, look at all those ships out there, and if I actually look at them, show you what I did here. Okay, and I'm done. I got everything I need for my colony, about 22,000 tons. And then I'm gonna go out there. The colony that I'm going to is more than 500 light years away, so it's a 2-jump process. And this is where the fleet carrier is king. So your tools that you need a good hauler, or two if you're gonna do my little trick, little escape pod trick. You need two haulers or two cutters. You need a fleet carrier, right? And time. You're gonna need a lot of time, right? Should carve out 5 to 6 hours for you to collect all that you need here. Now, if you go out into the black, there are two waves right now currently. One just past the Snakehead Nebula, and the other one is heading towards Nova Aquila 3, another neutron on the neutron highway. So there's two waves going towards Colonia. One is the going towards Colonia. The other one is going towards Sagittarius A, and I do believe that one is gonna head out to Beagle's Point. This concludes my video. I hope you like the music. That's my tunes that I put together, especially for this game. I'm gonna head out to that point where I have all my fleet carriers and start building 07 commanders and speedy voyage. Take care.